Hello there, my name's Claire and you're watching Stitch Home. So thank you so much for joining me today for a Friday Sews. It's been ages, I know, I'm sorry, I apologise. It's been the summer holidays. My husband and myself, particularly my husband, has been really unwell. And that meant that whilst I was unwell, I needed to look after the children as well. And once I'd gone back to work, to be honest with you, I just didn't have the energy to do anything other than kind of go to work and look after the kids. So apologies that I've been absent. I hope you'll forgive me and I hope you'll enjoy today's video. So as you guys know, Friday Sews was created by the wonderful Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. So a great big thanks to Jen. She has brought the sewing community together. There are so many people that vlog under that hashtag, so pop it into the search bar on YouTube. You will find a whole load of us all posting under that hashtag. And I have just found so many lovely people, both in terms of vloggers and also people that watch my videos and things through Friday Sews. So I can't sort of thank Jen and also the wider community, sewing community, enough. It is just brilliant. So yeah, head on over, watch some other YouTubers as well and find out what they've been up to. So I have been doing some sewing throughout the time when I've been absent, not as much as I do some months, but certainly I have managed to do a few makes. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is actually something that I had made several months ago now. It was part of a pattern test for Jennifer Lauren Handmade, and it was for a pattern that was originally released just in their kind of standard sizing, and they were looking to add an option in their curve range for the same dress, and that is the Asteria dress, I want to say. Yes, Asteria dress by Jennifer Lauren Handmade. Now I, as I say, have made this dress several months ago now. Possibly it was even last year. No, it must have been at the beginning of the year. Anyway, this is the dress that I made, and I'm really pleased with how it's come out actually. It's got this lovely square neckline. I've made it in some fabric that I picked up at a fabric sort of swap at a sewing social that I go to, and so thank you so much to whoever popped it on the table. I think it looks gorgeous. Yeah, really pleased with how this one's turned out. That neckline looks like it's curling out a little bit, but once it's on, and it could probably do with another repress because it's been hanging up for some time. Yeah, it's really good. Now this is a reasonably close fit on me now, and it doesn't have any closures. It's meant to just go over your head. It's supposed to, I think the fit is supposed to be slightly roomier than I've gone for, and it does mean I have to wiggle into it a little bit, but I quite like the end result, and I'll try and find some pictures and pop that in of it. So yeah, if this is a pattern that you have been looking at previously thinking, oh, I wonder whether that will ever be released in the curve range, it came out sort of a month or so ago, I believe now, and yeah, it means that you can hop on over and have a look at that. Jennifer Lauren has got a good number of her patterns in the curve range now, and all of her patterns that are have been released in more recent times are all in sort of both sizes. It does have pockets, which I'm a great fan of. I love a pocket. I don't necessarily always want a pocket just to put stuff in, but sometimes, you know, you're sort of standing around. It's something to do with your hands, isn't it? Just a pocket, you know, but it also means you can put your phone in, or your, you know, a tissue or some post-it notes or whatever the scenario might be. So yeah, really pleased with that. It's got kind of box pleats, I think that's what you call them, at the front and the back. Yeah, so just here and here, if you can see them. Yeah, on the whole, it came out really well. The pattern instructions are really good. If you've ever made a Jennifer Lauren Handmade pattern before, I think her pattern instructions are you know, some of the best. And yeah, really, really pleased with that one. So yeah, the Asteria dress by Jennifer Lauren, handmade. Now, another item that I was working on since I last saw you was the Sorrento jacket by Sew Over It. Now, this is a collaboration that I've been doing with the lovely Marisa from the Umbrian Sewist, and I've done a whole another video on that, and obviously so has Marisa, and that video will either come out just before this video or just after. So if I've got it already, I will link it in the cards above. If not, I will come back and pop it in the description at a later stage, but do look out for that video as well, which will go into detail all about the Sorrento jacket, which is a pattern by Sew Over It, and it is part of their Summer Dreaming ebook. So what else have I been up to? Because I think it's probably been about a month since I put out a vlog. I've been to 2 sewing socials during that time with the lovely Katherine from Sew Over to Makery, who runs a sewing social once a month called Meet and Stitch. I say sewing social, the idea is that you can bring along any kind of stitching craft, if you like, although I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you brought any craft along. But the idea is that just sort of like-minded people get together and talk about what they're doing and the things that they love doing, and get to spend some time doing things they love, surrounded by people who have got shared interests. So I've been to 2 of her sewing socials. So I think the last time I recorded a video, I was just about to go to one, and so I went to that one, and I've been to one more this last weekend that's just passed as well. It's so lovely being there. I'll pop some photos in of a couple of photos that I've got of the sewing social. They're just such fun. If you have the opportunity to go to a local sewing social, please do go along. I know that sometimes, especially if you don't know people, it can be a little bit intimidating going along, but I am sure you will find that everybody is just so welcoming. Katherine is actually taking a little bit of a break from running the sewing socials. She's got kind of a lot going on in her life at the moment, but she is hoping to return in the new year with some more sewing socials, and she was running sort of a evening sewing social before, but is looking at probably running some day sewing socials. So if you are in the Hampshire area and you're looking at doing that, do kind of check out Katherine from Sew Over to Makery's Instagram in the new year, because I'm sure she will put some information out on there. So a big thank you to Katherine. I've had a blast. It's been brilliant. And this last sewing social that we went to, there was a really good turnout. The lovely Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam, sorry Sam if I've got your handle wrong, was there as well. Now, she'd come down to see some family that lived in Hampshire, or some friends that lived in Hampshire, and she came along to the sewing social as well. So it was so nice to meet you, Sam. Thank you so much for coming along. And yeah, it was just so nice to meet Sam, but also everybody else that is usually there as well. Just brilliant. The last sewing social I went to, I bought some fabric from the lovely Anna, who has the fantastic fabric and sort of haberdashery and just general fabric company, shall we say, called Pattern Pouch Nest, and I bought some fantastic fabric from her, which I have sewn up, so I will show you that fabric later on. And at this sewing social, Anna was there with her fabrics, but also the Specky Seamstress. Now, it wasn't Laura from the Specky Seamstress, it was the lovely Yvonne from the Specky Seamstress, with the lovely labels and bias binding and things that they do. I think Laura was hoping to come along but wasn't able to as well, so the lovely Yvonne was there. So it was really lovely to see you, Yvonne, if you are watching, and I did buy a couple of different packets of labels as well, so I'll show those to you a little bit later on. So what else have I been making during the time that I've not been vlogging? I have been making a few other sort of more simple items. Once I'd kind of got a little bit better, I had obviously the last make that I'd made had been the Sorrento jacket, which was a fairly involved make. I wanted to kind of just do some stuff that was really easy. I didn't have to think about too much, and you know, that those sort of smaller makes that give you that instant gratification, if you like, of something nice and simple that sews up really quickly. You go from fabric, pattern and a fabric, to a garment very quickly. And what better way to do that was to make some things for my boys, who had been on at me for a little while to make some stuff for them. I've made some things most recently, I think, for my husband and myself, so they were feeling a little bit left out and they wanted some things too. So I will grab some of the items that I've got. There's a couple of more items that I've made, but my boys have got those on today. They've gone out for the day with my lovely sister and my niece, who are looking after them for the day, and I'm just sneaking in a sneaky vlog in my lunch break. So I will grab the things that I've been making. So earlier I spoke about some fabric I bought from the lovely Anna from Pattern Pouch Nest. I'll link everything in the description below. And I bought some jersey fabric from her last time, and it was this fantastic Lego Duplo print fabric. Just so bright, so fun. My boys absolutely love it. So what I did is I bought 1.5 meters of the fabric with the idea of sewing out a t-shirt for my two sons. So my son, who is 8, is very tall, and so I always like to size up because I like to make sure they get some growth out of it, that it just doesn't last for like a month, because they grow like weeds. So I always need to size up for him anyway, because he's taller and sort of generally bigger. Well, when I say bigger, he's like a beanpole, but he's, you know, he grows like a weed, he keeps going up. So I did him the age 11, and my younger son, I think I did, he's 4, and I think I did age 6. But my younger son has got his on today, so I can't show you, but I will pop some pictures in. So I made this t-shirt for my older son. I have used the Waves and Wild Explorer Raglan tee. I really like Waves and Wild patterns for kids. I think they're great patterns. As I say, I have sized up, and I do feel like you need to size up one size, I would say, mostly, unless you've got a child that is particularly you know, small for their age. So yeah, this fabric has washed really well. It's been through the wash a number of times already, because my boys have sort of washed and worn. And what I was able to do was I cut out this size t-shirt for my older son, as I say, and it was either an age 5 or an age 6 t-shirt for my younger son, and then I was able to squeeze out a pair of shoreline shorts, which is also a Waves and Wild pattern, for my younger son. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough fabric to do some shorts for my older son. However, I think last time I spoke about some shorts that I'd made for my older son, which actually were in a fabric not too dissimilar to this colour. So actually he's worn it with those, and it looks like it was kind of meant to be. So that was ideal. So yeah, lovely fabric, has washed and worn really well. I believe Anna still has some of this on her website if you wanted to head across. Really good value, good price for jersey over there too. So yeah, that's something else that I made. Now, on the theme of shoreline shorts for my younger son, I have made, I think, 4 pairs recently for him. Bear with me, I'm going to grab them. So as I say, I have made 4 pairs of shorts. I started off with this pair. Now, this isn't the best fabric for it because it's a sweatshirting fabric, so probably a little bit thick for shorts. However, I had a scrap of this fabric left, it was kicking around, and I just thought, well, I'll try out the pattern in that fabric before I go ahead and use any others. So I think these are the age 5, and they've come together nicely. I have got a specky seamstress label in that says, "You are a superstar." So those are really nice, and I think the blue goes really nice with those. So that's really good. Then at the last sewing social, I had taken along another pair to sew up. Now, my younger son is very much into dressing himself. He chooses his clothes every single day, which can cause some trauma because he likes to wear the same colour palette, or if he's got a Superman t-shirt, he wants everything to be kind of Superman colours. If he's wearing red that day, he wants everything to be red. Now, he had a purple t-shirt, but he didn't have any purple shorts, so he kept saying to me, "Mummy, can you make me some purple shorts?" And I said, "I don't have any fabric that's purple." And then he had a bit of a look in my stash and was like, "Yes, you do, Mummy." Anyway, he came across a piece of purple Ponte fabric that I didn't even remember having. It was like a 50cm max, like remnant piece. It must have come in like a bundle of fabrics that I had bought right at the beginning of my sewing journey. It had gone into my stash. I had never really thought anything else of it because it was such a small piece of fabric, and what was I ever going to do with a piece of purple Ponte? Well, make some purple shorts. So at the sewing social, I cut that out and made a good start on doing it. However, I'd only taken my sewing machine and not my overlocker, and so I did a little bit on it, but spent most of my time chatting. But the next day when I came home, I finished them off. So it's not a fabric that I would necessarily choose to make shorts out of. I would normally choose a French terry or a cotton jersey or something. But here you go, there are some shorts. And again, I've got the other type of version of You Are a Superstar label in from the Specky Seamstress, and it's got pockets there. Now, you can do some top stitching to kind of hold the pockets down, which I have done on some versions. I think I did that on the blue versions that I just showed you, but I chose not to on this particular version. Keep it nice and simple, and he's quite happy. I don't think they're going to last forever because I find that Ponte goes bobbly quite quickly. In fact, it's already starting to show signs after only a couple of washes, but hey ho, he's happy. He won't notice the bobbling necessarily. It's another piece of fabric that's been sewn up from my stash, and he's happy. So another piece of fabric that I bought recently from a D-stash, and I've got quite a lot of it left because I hadn't intended to make the item that I'm just about to show you, but again, my son saw them and decided that he must have something from it, and I've got enough fabric on this remnant piece left because it was quite a large remnant of well over a metre and a half or something, and my older son will probably get a hoodie out of it at some point in the not so distant future as the colder weather comes in. Anyway, I've made yet another pair of shoreline shorts, and yeah, out of this particular fabric, exactly the same pattern, and so he's really pleased with that. I didn't bother to try and pattern match across the front in any way, shape or form because I was trying to use the littlest amount of fabric I possibly could, so that, because as I say, my intention wasn't necessarily to use them. And as I say, I'd also made a t-shirt in the fabric, the Lego fabric, and the shorts in the Lego fabric for my younger son, who's got them on today. So those are the kind of the whiz them up on the overlocker with a little bit on the sewing machine type items that I've been making. Now, the other item that I have made is this round pouch. Now, I was fortunate enough to win a prize on Instagram a few weeks ago now, last month I think it was, at the end of last month, for my makes of the month. Now, the lovely So Much to Design, I'm sure that's her Instagram handle, and I'm trying to look at my notes. Yes, she does a hashtag my makes of the month, and then there are a number of people that are picked for prizes. Now, I was lucky enough to win a prize from Making Patterns Fly. Now, it wasn't a company that I've heard of. I think they're a French company. They do some really lovely patterns, but lots of them weren't catering for my size particularly, so I decided to go for a couple of their sort of accessories bag type patterns. So I've gone with this lovely sort of pocket tote, no, cookie round bag, it's called cookie round cosmetic pouch, and it's got a little zip at the top, so this little hanging loop, and I think that's a really cute design, and I've just made that out of some leftover fabric that I had. I think I've done something a little bit weird just here on the, it's not sitting quite right, but hey ho, it looks okay. I chose to do a little bit of quilting on there. That's not necessarily part of the pattern, but I chose to do it anyway, so that's really nice. And the other pattern that I picked up, because my price was for 2 patterns, was the pocket tote with zipper and lining, but I'm yet to make that, but I'll pop a picture in of that particular one. So that was amazing. And I was also really lucky to win yet another Instagram challenge, which was run a little while ago by the lovely B Silver Creates, when she was running her So Blood Pressure UK 23 challenge. And I won a prize from the lovely avid seamstress. And the prize that I picked was the raglan dress. Now, I haven't made this up yet, but it's gone into my stash of patterns, and at some point I will give that one a go. I'll probably make the short sleeve version, I think, rather than the long sleeve, but you know, we'll have a look. It's got like a V-neck on it, which is what kind of drew me to it. I quite like a raglan sleeve because you don't have to worry about where the head of the shoulder sits, you know, whether it's going to sit you know, be too narrow or too far down, etc. I quite like that. So yeah, that one is really, really lovely. Let me think, have I got anything else to tell you? I'm sure I have, because I haven't been around for so long. I went to Monkey World with my family yesterday, which was just lovely. We had such a lovely day. It's just, I don't know, it's about an hour and 20 from myself, maybe. It took us a little bit longer because the traffic was a little bit heavy, but not ridiculous. We had a great day there, obviously saw all the different types of monkeys. My boys loved it. Yeah, brilliant day. If you've ever been, it's in Dorset, not far from Wareham. And if you're not into monkeys, or your other half is not into monkeys, there's the Tank Museum that is literally down the road. So, you know, you could split for the day and one do one and one do the other, or do one on one day, one on the other. So yeah, a great day out, and yeah, highly recommend that. So I've been buying a couple of things, not mega. I've been trying to be quite refrained. I don't have a massive fabric stash, but even for me, my fabric stash has got quite big at the moment, and so I'm trying not to spend too much on additional fabric before sewing stuff up. This was the fabric that I obviously made the shorts out of. I bought this from a D-stash on Facebook, along with this spotty fabric, which is just a black polka dot fabric, and I'll probably make myself a t-shirt from that. I've only got a metre, but that should be fine to get myself a t-shirt out of. I have tried the Naya t-shirt, Naya, I think it is, by Tammy Handmade, that everybody is raving about at the moment. I really like that pattern to a certain extent, but I'm not sure this is what I'm going to sew this particular fabric up into. I find that pattern comes up particularly short. I did lengthen it, but if I was to make it again, I would add some more length to it. I find the neckline for me comes up a little bit high, but I could lower that. But I'm not overly sure about the fact that it's a grown-on sleeve. You end up with like a little bit of, you know, that additional fabric. Maybe it's because I made my version out of a cotton jersey, and actually it would probably look better in slightly more of a drapier fabric, like a viscose jersey. But I know lots of people have made it out of a cotton jersey. It looks lovely, but I'm not massively sure about that pattern on me. I know, controversial, but we'll see. Maybe I will tweak it to my likings. I did like the fact that it's got like little bands on it, so you don't have to do any You don't have to do any hemming, which was nice. You do have to hem the bottom. And I know that some people have made it out of a woven fabric as well. Possibly they've sized up one, and then just rather than obviously doing the neckband, you just sort of turn it under, and that looks lovely too. So yeah, it is a lovely pattern. I'm just not completely sure it's for me. So that's a couple of fabrics that I've bought recently. So I also bought a couple of label packs from the Specky Seamstress. These are a couple of little iron-on labels. There's a few different types in there. I will take them out the packet and do a little picture and put it up so you can see. And some more of this "You Are a Superstar" label, because I find these are super for my boys. I think there's a really lovely sentiment on them. Great colouring for all of their types of clothes. Not too kind of out there in terms of clothes, you know, colours, etc. So it just kind of goes with everything. So I think they're really good. And yeah, as I say, Yvonne was there from Specky Seamstress, so I was able to buy them off her at the weekend. So that's what I've been up to in terms of sewing, in terms of buying, and what in life, etc. But in terms of my sewing plans, I am doing another collaboration with the lovely Katrina from Create Something Pretty. If you haven't seen her channel before, please do head over and check her out. She's brilliant. And we are doing a collaboration together, and do check out her channel because she's fantastic. And we'll be looking to put out our videos probably towards the end of September, maybe slightly earlier. It's probably me that's going to hold things up rather than her, because I know that she's doing really well with hers and I haven't even started mine. But yeah, that's definitely in the pipeline. And I've also got a make for my blogger post that I do with the lovely UK Fabrics Online in terms of my brand ambassadorship. So yeah, that's a couple of makes that I'm looking at doing. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm really sorry that I haven't been around for quite some time. I hope you'll all understand. As I say, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you'd consider doing so. But until next time, take care. Happy sewing.